The film begins with a man named Caesar. He looks down and sees Clara and her boyfriend, who live in the same building, pull up in their car. Caesar notices they've just fought, and this cheers him up. He abandons his death plans. The scene then cuts to a few months earlier. We see Caesar at Clara's bedside, getting up before she wakes up, tidying everything, and leaving. His actions indicate he was secretly in the room. He then gets dressed and comes downstairs, where we learn he is the building's caretaker. As the caretaker, Caesar has keys to all the apartments, which he uses to enter Clara's home. One day, a young neighbor, Ursula, discovers this. Instead of telling Clara, she threatens Caesar, saying, "I know your secret. You go to Clara's apartment." She continues, "And if you don't want me to tell anyone, you'll have to bring me money and everything I ask for." Caesar is furious that he's being blackmailed by such a young girl, but at this point, he has no choice but to obey. Just then, Clara arrives, looking quite happy while talking on the phone, and this enrages Caesar. He then visits his mother at the hospital and tells her, "I don't want anyone in this world to be happy, especially Clara. But she's been too happy lately, and now I'll ruin her life." Caesar's mother, unable to speak, is helpless but furious with Caesar. Her son has become a psychopath. When Caesar returns to the building, he's very late. The manager scolds him, but he says nothing and stares at her angrily. Before the manager can respond, an old lady from the building comes and asks Caesar, "Will you take care of my dog for the night? I have to go out." Caesar agrees, but this devil can't do anything right. He mixes a little poison into the dog's food, just enough to make it sick without killing it. Then we see Clara in her room. She comes in, freshens up a bit, and lies down on the bed. At the same time, we see Caesar hiding under her bed. When he sees Clara is asleep, he emerges, uses chloroform on Clara, and lies down with her. He does this every day. He even assaults Clara while she's unconscious. Then he goes to the bathroom and mixes a little acid into all of Clara's beauty products. As Caesar is about to leave, he spots a photo of Clara and her boyfriend. They look very happy in it. This spoils Caesar's mood. As soon as he leaves Clara's apartment, Ursula sees him once again and starts blackmailing him, this time to order adult movies for her. The next morning, we see the old lady whose dog had fallen ill. She is about to take it to the vet. On the way, she meets Caesar, who says something so strange to her that the old lady is left heartbroken. Meanwhile, Clara also comes down to go to her office. As usual, she stopped by Caesar's desk to talk. Caesar starts noticing her face because he knows Clara has used the acid-laced products again today. But there is no visible effect on her skin. Caesar's anger increases when he sees that Clara is still so happy. The next day, Ursula comes to Caesar. She takes the movie she ordered and tells Caesar that this time, 16 euros won't be enough to hide the truth. This time, he'll have to give her 100 euros. Caesar goes back to the hospital to see his mother and shares with her, "I'm very worried. I don't understand why Clara is so happy. What can I do to make her sad?" Caesar's mother is upset by his words every day. Caesar then returns to his building, where he complains to a woman about her son, leading to a fight between them. The child becomes sad. This brings Caesar some relief. Night falls. As usual, Caesar goes back into Clara's room. Clara is asleep when he chloroforms her. He assaults her and then goes into the bathroom. Today, he has taken things to the extreme. He pours acid on a watch belonging to Clara's mother, hoping it will make Clara sad. When Clara wakes up in the morning, she is unaware of anything. As usual, she washes her face and uses the same products Caesar had mixed with acid. And now, Clara notices a rash on her face. But she ignores it, gets ready for work, and comes downstairs. As usual, she greets Caesar, and he says, "The dress you're wearing today doesn't suit you at all." Clara, unconcerned with his opinion, laughs, says goodbye, and leaves, which only increases Caesar's anger. In his anger, he adds even more dangerous chemicals to her products and writes her a very disturbing letter, which truly upsets Clara. Every day, Caesar tells his mother about everything he does, and his ailing mother becomes even more distressed by his words. One day, Caesar goes too far. He releases an infestation of cockroaches into Clara's apartment. Clara is extremely frightened and tells Caesar, "Tomorrow you'll have to spray pesticide in my apartment." While Caesar and Clara are talking outside her apartment, Ursula arrives and, during their conversation, tries to hint to Clara that Caesar is behind all this, but Clara doesn't understand her. The two then head down in the elevator, and during their conversation, Caesar confronts Clara about the letter sent to her by an unknown man, which contained threats. Hearing this, Clara becomes deeply upset and begins to suspect that it was none other than Caesar, as she hadn't told him about any letter. Later that night, Caesar visits his mother again and tells her that Clara is becoming happier and happier. "None of my tricks are working. I was trying to tease her gently before, but now my anger has increased, and now I'm going to show her who I really am." The next day, while Caesar is spraying pesticide in Clara's apartment, the building manager comes to him and tells him that numerous complaints have been filed against him. "If you continue this behavior and don't care about the people in the building and remain so careless, you'll soon be fired." Here we are shown a police scene. The police had received numerous complaints from people who were receiving threatening letters. When the police investigate, they discover that these letters are being sent from this building. Therefore, they enter the building to investigate. During the investigation, the police are suspicious. However, Caesar blames everything on a mother and son living in the same building who had previously committed minor crimes. He provides evidence of their crimes to the police, and they are jailed, leaving Caesar overjoyed. With great joy, Caesar goes to tell his mother and also tells her that he is about to do something big. We see him gathering a large number of items, including handcuffs, scissors, a knife, and rope. He puts all these items into a bag, clearly indicating that he is planning to murder someone. He takes the bag and goes into Clara's room and waits. Clara arrives very late today, and Caesar becomes even more enraged that Clara brought her boyfriend home. Clara and her boyfriend spend time together. This causes the bed to shake, and the chloroform in Caesar's hand spills on him. He knows he is about to faint. Before he faints, he quietly slips out from under the bed and goes to a door. The scene then cuts, implying Caesar has fainted. Upon regaining consciousness, we see that Caesar was in the bathroom all this time. When he looks outside, Clara and her boyfriend have both woken up. He is terrified. Outside, we see that Clara, too, is feeling unwell. She suddenly becomes dizzy and collapses, and her boyfriend lays her down on the bed. Meanwhile, he notices a bag under the bed, which contains strange items. He is examining the bag when he hears a noise. Caesar is seen trying to sneak out of the apartment, but before he can, Clara's boyfriend sees and stops him. Caesar doesn't panic and calmly lies, saying he had come to pick up some of his belongings left behind while spraying pesticides the previous day. Clara's boyfriend suspects something is amiss. He even tries to hit Caesar, but Clara stops him, and Caesar takes his bag and leaves. When Caesar arrives at his office, he sees the building manager and the senior officer already there. They give him only 15 days' notice to find a new job and inform him that he has been fired. Caesar knows he can't stay there, so he begins packing. The old lady comes to Caesar to comfort him, telling him, "We'll miss you." But Caesar doesn't want her comforting words. He continues to treat the old lady very badly. He says nasty things to her, causing her to become extremely sad. He then sees Clara and her boyfriend leaving the building, laughing. As they leave, Clara tells him they're going on a weekend vacation. Hearing this, Cesar's anger reaches its peak. The more he tries to hurt Clara, the more satisfied she becomes with her life. Now he's about to leave the building. He can't hurt her anymore. Thinking about this, his nerves begin to fray, and he decides to commit death. He goes to the roof of the building and prepares to jump. This is the same scene shown at the beginning of the movie. Before he jumps, he sees that Clara and her boyfriend have returned. Clara, furious, has gone inside the building. This implies a fight between the two, which rekindles hope in his heart to fulfill his evil intentions, and he abandons his death plan. We then see Clara and her boyfriend arguing in their apartment. Clara is pregnant, and neither of them understands how this happened. Cesar overhears all of this hiding under their bed as usual. After they fall asleep, he sneaks out from under the bed and knocks them both unconscious with chloroform. Today, he is overjoyed because Clara is sad. He lies down on the bed and gets close to her again. Cesar leaves before dawn as usual, but he leaves behind some hints of his presence. Clara's boyfriend realizes that Cesar was the one who had been sleeping with Clara and assaulting her. He knows Clara is unaware of all this. He knows she would be deeply upset if he told her. He decides to deal with Cesar alone, luring him into the room under the pretense of administering pesticide. Upon arriving, Cesar suspects the man had called him for some other purpose, as Clara isn't home at the time. Clara's boyfriend begins questioning him. Cesar tries to act innocent, but in a fit of rage, the man punches him. Before he can cause any further harm, Cesar brandishes a knife and stabs the man to death. Cesar is wearing gloves, so no prints are left on the knife. He then places the body in the bathtub and puts the knife in the man's hand, so that during the investigation, everyone will believe he killed himself. After removing all remaining evidence, Cesar leaves. 2 days pass. On the third day, the police arrive to investigate, and they find the man's body. They also call Cesar for the investigation. Cesar then flatly denies to the police that he no longer works in the building. During this investigation, Cesar spots Ursula, the girl, and by looking at her eyes, he realizes that this time too, she knows all his secrets. At night, he sneaks into Ursula's house, chloroforms all her family members, and then goes to Ursula. He threatens her, saying, "I know everything about your family and your school. I know about your friends. I could easily kill your entire family like that man. I could even ruin your life. If you even try to open your mouth to the police, you'll see the consequences." With that, he leaves. The next day, the police return for another investigation. Cesar is included in the investigation, and this time, Ursula is also investigated because she was Clara's neighbor. But Ursula is so scared of Cesar that she doesn't tell the police anything, and thus Cesar is saved. In the next scene, we see Clara and her mother leaving the building. Clara's eyes are filled with tears. She's deeply saddened. Cesar comes in front of them as they leave and tries to talk, but Clara refuses to speak to him. Cesar didn't even want to talk to her. He just wanted to see her tears, and the relief Cesar feels in his heart at seeing her tears is immense. The scene cuts to a few months later. We see a baby with Clara. Clara had always believed it was her boyfriend's child. Therefore, she accepted the child and was happy with it. But as soon as Cesar learns of this, he once again threatens to destroy Clara's happy life. He writes a letter to Clara, revealing that he lived with her in her apartment for 7 months. He used to come to her after she was unconscious, and that the child is his. Learning this truth deeply disturbs Clara. This brings Cesar immense satisfaction, and the movie ends with this dark side of him.